Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 827 of FloWrestling Radio Live. We're back, and I'm sorry, but we won't be here tomorrow. But we're here today, and JD's back, and that merits this very special episode. Our own JD and Spey made a slightly delayed return from Bulgaria. They were at the Junior World Championships, but it's great to have you back in the great state of Texas. JD, how was your trip?
It was good until the return home. It was very good
because you didn't return home. Ultimately.
Correct. Yes. Long story short, Bulgaria Air and the Rome airport and all of its workers are dead to me.
Wow.
And they must pay for their actions, their incompetence.
What are you gonna do for retribution, JD?
It is TBD, but it will be swift and it will be harsh.
Wow. So what happened? They canceled your flight and lost your bags?
Well, it all started when Bulgaria Air delayed Spey and my flight to Rome, and we did not make our connecting flight, and that's when all hell broke loose in the Rome airport, the Leonardo da Vinci airport. And
he'd be rolling over in his grave right now if he knew about the mistreatment you were going through.
Yeah, he would. I'm mad at him too, though. He deserves some of this.
Be a leader, Leonardo.
Right, yeah. I believe our bags are still there. We're not entirely sure. And
your Joe Diffie shirt is not in that bag, is it?
It is not. No, it is not.
So you dodged a pretty big bullet there.
Yeah, a lot of my Flow shirts, as I normally wear them to tournaments, are a lot of workout gear. Yeah.
Okay.
My a beard trimmer in there as well, so I might just go caveman.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, there's no other beard trimmers. Well. Apart from the travel issues, how was Bulgaria?
Bulgaria was cool. Team USA wrestled pretty well, I thought. The Bulgarian people are nice. I enjoyed my time there.
Wonderful. How was Spey? Did he have any hardships?
No. It was pretty good. Pretty smooth.
He's a pretty seasoned international traveler at this point. Well, cool. Well, great to have you back. Plenty to talk about in the wrestling world, but in the not wrestling world, a proud Loper fell, and he fell hard. He fell swiftly. Kamaru Usman losing in got to be the most dramatic fashion in UFC history that I can recall.
It's up there.
You are the official spokesperson for UNK Lopers. Just
minor setback for a major comeback.
I honestly agree, except I think it was a major setback for a major comeback.
It was pretty major. It happened at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Sofia time, and I remember waking up and was like, oh yeah, fight's going on, and like go to try and pull up a stream quick, and
pirate.
Well, I'm not gonna purchase a pay-per-view for 4 minutes.
Okay.
For 30 minutes, maybe, but I didn't even get the attempt to try to pirate or purchase,
man,
because it was literally as I was getting texts like, oh no, like, what is happening? This is terrible.
It was crazy. There have obviously been some shocking UFC moments, but that fight just seemed over. And yes, I did stay up late and watch this one, and it was as crazy a result. I feel like that's one of those finishes that every time we're going to be watching a UFC fight and someone's just getting destroyed, we'll just be like, but you never know. Yep. Leon Edwards might kick someone in the face. And that's basically what happened. I think that's what you have to do to beat Usman. I don't think you can beat him in just like 5 rounds straight up. He's too good. But it would seem like he should be able to, if he continues.
He'll get an immediate rematch, and if he can avoid, he showed if he can avoid that one shot.
Yeah.
Like, he's a better fighter.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. And it was funny because there was a lot of like myopia after the fact, because like everyone was like, I thought rightly sort of calling out that Leon looked broken, done, like he had really bad body language, and like I think Dean Thomas was talking about it. And
so I have actually not watched the entire fight.
Okay, well, like basically,
yeah, but I'm aware of what happened.
He was just like, listen, he's not looking his coaches in the eye, looks terrible. He's like, just looks like he's kind of resigned to defeat, and then that's why you can't look too much into body language, I guess. He was playing possum with all of us. But yeah, crazy freaking fight. Okay, that was talking MMA. I'd be curious for Ben's thoughts. Ben is on vacation this week. We have a crazy week here at Flow. Yesterday we had our offsite, which is like all 400 plus employees minus JD and Spay, who are unable.
We literally got an email like reminder. This is mandatory.
Yeah,
like. Yeah, people flying from everywhere to stay in like hotels to do it too.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like forward to it. I was bummed we missed
It
it.
is fun, all the track wrestling people. Like Sparks is in town. He couldn't make it. He's got some sales meeting or something fancy like that. He couldn't make it. He'll be back on next week. He claims. We'll see. We're gonna break down Roadhouse. Were you around for any of the Roadhouse?
Yep.
Okay,
that was one of my last days.
Okay, I think we're gonna talk about that at some point. So yeah, we had the offsite yesterday. That was all day long. Started at 8 a.m. So we couldn't do the show. Then tomorrow, our pals at USA Wrestling are in town, so we'll be meeting with them. So no show tomorrow. We'll be back on schedule next Tuesday. So thanks for your grace there, and JD will make sure today's episode gets up promptly.
That is my promise to you, avid listeners.
Yes, indeed. So let's get to some other wrestling news. The news of yesterday, Nasir Bailey to Little Rock. Absolutely huge commitment for Coach Arisman and the Little Rock Trojans. I gotta figure this is the biggest recruit they've ever had. And they've been recruiting well. Of course, they had the Fargo OW committed there as well from Missouri. So they're a lot of really strong momentum there.
Ranked this year's recruiting class. They made top 20. So
top 20, and that was without Bailey, who is class of 23, correct?
Right. So
he'll be coming in next year.
Correct.
Perhaps back-to-back top 20 recruiting hauls for Little Rock.
Perhaps.
Nasir was originally committed to UNC, and I don't know the factors that went into it. I'm sure we'll be able to catch up with him, but ended up the connection there is sort of. You can kind of see it with Albert White, his coach, or someone he's familiar with. And then you've got the Coleman and Neal connection over the years. Oklahoma State guys, they coach together. So cool to see Nasir land there, and obviously a huge talent.
Many people are saying this was the doing of Keith Gothard. I won Keith Gothard.
A lot of people, this is. Let's get in the chat here. Keith.
He's actually over in the YouTube chat today.
Because... He's
Is he in Facebook jail?
He's in jail once more. That's what you call recidivism, Keith Gotthard. And he's in big trouble. Yes, Lemon Tea MMA is in the chat there, and yeah, he says he kind of had the inside intel on that. Did Keith? So a triumphant day for Little Rock. Okay, so that's good. Who's number one matchups are coming out fast and furious. We just announced the 4-man, which I'm really excited about. Let me pull that up here. We got Ferrari, Ruiz, Seeley, and Braden Scholes for a 4-man at 160. JD, your thoughts on this group of 4?
It's going to be a lot of fun. The 4-mans are obviously always a lot of fun, but remember, we only do 4-mans when it's like 4 guys with a legit shot at the claim to the number 1 spot. And this is one of those cases. It really, any of these guys could win the number 1 spot, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, Seeley with all the momentum coming off his world title and just how good he looks. But there's guys with wins over him in this field. Looking forward to that match on September 9th at Michigan, Ann Arbor. Are you going?
I will not be there.
You're not there. Okay, well, no. I will. I'll be there. Our new guy, Tyler, keeps hyping up Ann Arbor tremendously. He's a Michigan man, an alum, and he can't wait to be back his old stopping grounds, where he has not lived for approximately 3 weeks before he goes back, because he literally just moved to Austin. Okay, freestyle. He
literally said it's the greatest city in the world.
Yeah, that is quite a claim. Okay. Let's talk about these freestyle seeds for a little bit. Have you got to look at them? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I took a glance, and these are point-determined seeds, so it's not like a
committee.
Right.
With them.
Right. So we kind of knew what we were getting going in, but it's basically what you expect. We got the number 1 with Gilman Dake Burroughs and Snyder, and a lot of the other guys are going to get drawn in randomly.
Yeah, like Seth Gross. I think Hayden is getting drawn in as well,
Yanni.
right? Yanni. Zane got the 7 seed.
6.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, Zane's the 6. You're right. Some of the tougher matchups. David Taylor will be on the same side as Miles Amin. Of course, David has been able to handle him traditionally. Jaden will have to beat Nurmagomedov to get to Ghazimpur in the finals for that rematch.
He should beat him. They've
Yes.
never hit, but Jaden will be a heavy favorite.
Yes. Interestingly, in the quarterfinal, Snyder Mohammedian of Iran, who famously or infamously, however you want to say, beat Kyle.
And that's actually because he got the 5. That's assuming Mohammedian beats Ukraine.
Which is, based on Mohammedian has like pretty tremendous deviation in some of his performances, so it'll be not a guarantee that he makes it to Snyder. No seed for Zilmer. Gino's 1, Agul the 2, Zare the 3. Is that right?
That is right.
The returning world champ, the number 3 seed. How does that? I thought they were giving pretty significant weight to that. I guess, did he not hit any rankings tournaments?
Nope.
Well, that'll do it. For Gilman, he could have the Sarlacc rematch in the semis, and the winner there likely getting Ravi Kumar in the finals.
And that's the match right there, 57. It's Kumar and Gilman. It's not as much Sarlacc. Like, I think Gilman and Kumar have shown they're a step ahead of Sarlacc.
Yes. Haratunian Higuchi potential in at 61.
Yeah, it's good to see Higuchi back.
I know. That's
But so for those who don't know, this is the 2016 Rio Olympic champ at 57
silver.
Excuse me, yes. And then he's bounced around kind of in weight, but he really hasn't wrestled on the international scene in the past like 4 years.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Almost. So I don't know exactly what he's been doing or why I kind of just written him off. And but he's back.
If he's there, he's a contender. I mean, he was very young when he made the Olympic finals in 16. So he's still very much in his prime. It's just we haven't seen him for a little bit, but I don't know if he's the favorite to win, but he's up there.
It's hard to call him the favorite when we haven't seen him wrestle internationally in like 4 years.
I feel like on his best day, I think he's the best wrestler at 61. But
I would probably agree with that, but
we don't know.
We don't know.
It's been too long.
Right. I doubt he's just, rolling up out of bed and doing this, but
yeah, typically if Japan sends someone, they're going to be pretty well prepared and ready to go. 61 is a pretty deep weight with Haratunian, Valentinov. You've got Atlees in there. But for Seth Gross, he's a largely an unknown to these guys.
And funky.
Totally goofy. Has a very strange feel. So
I think I've said it on here before, but Seth Gross is a guy who, in my opinion, you could potentially see bringing home a medal on his best day. Obviously, he just beat Dayton Fix.
Right.
Or you could see him going 0-1 and losing to somebody who us Americans are like, who is this?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be losing to this guy.
The wrong matchup would definitely make it tough. Now, you look at 65 seeds. Haji, the number 1. Bajrang 2. Sebastian Rivera, the 3 seed. How about it?
I know. He's got a good path to a medal.
You think so? Why? You like the Bajrang matchup, or you think you like him against?
I don't like him against Bajrang. I would.
But you like him against Binkowski?
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Against that Polish guy, and it's like he avoids Musakayev and Aliyev.
Yeah, that is a good draw for Seabass. Of course, Yanni.
Tavanian also good, who he won't hit. So.
Yeah, Tavanian's a tough matchup for Americans just because he's just stands right in front of you, not gonna beat himself, gonna make you come to him. So it's good for Sebastian and Yanni to avoid him potentially. Although we don't know where Yanni's going to be.
Right, random draw. If you're not in the top 8, you randomly get drawn in.
So he could be in there. He could have Haji round 1. And it seems like Americans often just coincidentally get some crazy early matchups. So we'll see if that happens with 65, where we have not meddled. We have to say it every single time we talk about this way. We haven't meddled since Zadok, 2006. That's Bill, and now he's the coach.
Although if he does get Haji, you feel good about him making it to repechage. Which repechage, for some reason, became kind of a hot topic once again, I guess, as people were watching juniors. Probably due to Facundo's draw.
Right.
How do you feel about repechage?
I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Like, I mean, I don't like it because it's ingrained in me that, like, yeah, you could lose to some guy, but you could definitely get third. And your guy doesn't have to make the finals to prove that. So, I mean, I think it accomplishes getting random medalists well from a good distribution of countries. It's not how you figure out who the 3rd and 4th best guys are necessarily.
Well, neither is a standard bracket.
What do you mean?
Well, if you would just wrestle a lot more matches to get a larger data pool to determine the 3rd best guy in the bracket.
Yeah, so you find out who's...
No, I'm saying there's a much better way to determine the top 3 wrestlers than a normal bracket as well.
What are you saying? Like
everybody wrestles everybody.
Well, that's insane. Like, at some point, there's like, that's like just not tenable. Like,
okay, so some would draw the line.
The second best option is a bracketed format where, you could technically be the second best.
Or would it be pool system?
You could be the second best guy and get 3rd. That's obviously a potential if you lose to the champ, but otherwise, I think it's, I don't hate repechage, but I don't like it.
Also, we all see the stands at NCAs when they're doing consolations and the U.S. Open when they're doing consolations.
Shame on them. Or the U.S. Open during not the consolations.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. No, well, shame on those fans for not going to those events.
I'm just saying, all the fans that poo-poo repechage, I argue that you would not really watch anyways.
Ooh. Well, that's fair.
Until maybe the 3rd place match. But guess what? You get 2 3rd place matches.
Yes, indeed.
I wouldn't be mad if they had the 2 bronzes wrestle for 1 true bronze.
1 true bronze instead of double bronze.
Double bronze is kind of weird. I will admit
you definitely didn't get 3rd if someone else got 3rd. That's by law. Yeah. So that's not my favorite, but I'm not like super mad at it. But yeah, not a big fan. What was I talking about?
Also,
okay, here's a question. I can't wait to see the chat's response to this. If Sebastian Rivera places, is the streak sort of technically broken?
No, it's not.
I think it's kind of broken, dude.
It's not at all.
Because America, listen, he can wrestle for Puerto Rico, but we all freaking know he's an American. He trains in America. He gets on the
America didn't
podium.
pay his way.
Okay, so they didn't buy the
America doesn't get the medal count. They don't get the team points.
I don't know. It's kind of close. What? But an American will get a medal. So why doesn't it count? It's not like he trains in Puerto Rico. He's training here. I think it's kind of a shared thing. And also Puerto Rico, is that not a territory? Yeah, not at all.
It's not a
Ashlyn and Keith Gotthard both say it doesn't count. So that makes me feel better that it should count. So it counts. They're kind of the anti-North Star for us. Rutgers can claim it.
Rutgers can claim it. They can claim that they have a medalist. Yeah. But Team USA cannot.
Yeah, maybe not Team USA. I don't know. I think it still sort of counts. It will be ironic if Sebastian Rivera places before Yanni.
Isn't it a little ironic?
Don't you think? Yeah, this is good. I knew the chat would react to this.
AK Gold King, are you off your meds, CP? No way.
No way. I'm on no medication. Happy to say. Okay, so it doesn't count. Fine. All right. Looking at that was 65-70.
It could encourage more people to go that route, though.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I don't have to beat Jordan All or beat Yanni and Joey McKinnon to make the team. Just, Puerto Rico. And you get to train in America. Everyone knows how I feel about it. Okay, thoughts on 70 overall. Pretty deep weight here. Ernie.
Is it?
Ayakobishvili. Little Yaz, Donnie.
I feel like it's not that deep a weight.
You like Zane Train's chances?
Compared to other weights, yes.
Like which weight do you think are better than heavyweight?
Do
you like his chance?
No, it's not better than heavyweight.
You like his
the top 3 guys at
no,
heavyweight?
no. I'm saying you like Zane's chances better than heavyweight.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you like
of
them
course.
better than? Do you like them better than Seth Gross's?
Yes,
I do. Do you like them better than Yanni's? That's where it gets tough. I do. I think I do too.
Because 65 is better than 70.
So we're putting him in the so not with our least likely guys, but he's not in the Gilman, probably one behind Gilman and most likely to medal. Yeah. So you got like Gilman, and Jaden, Snyder, Dake, Taylor, Burrows. Probably not in quite that order at the end, but something like that. Where they are all very, very likely. Of that group, not counting Zane, who do you think is could potentially have the toughest time medaling?
Gilman?
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw him get pinned.
He got
horsed.
He got horse-laid.
Which I don't think will happen again.
No way.
But then you got to say, but he also got pinned by Zach Sanders and Seth Gross in the past couple
He did not
years.
get pinned by Seth Gross. He lost.
Oh, he just lost.
He lost a goofy.
He lost on points.
He lost on just there's so many Exhibit A's for wide grounding is a terrible rule, but that's the Exhibit A of Exhibit A's. Just a bad rule. So yeah, right in there, yeah, probably Gilman would be the next one. Okay. All right, so that's 70. We kind of like Zane's chances.
Or Snyder losing to Mohammedian and then Mohammedian losing in the semi.
This could be the classic gas out, get the Iranian tired, and then the Iranian can't come back, and then that's the Tagavi Metcalf 2013.
And then American fans would really be going crazy on the repechage system.
That would be bad. So Christian doesn't love America. Paul Youngs, sir, young man, I am Mr. Wrestle for America. And Puerto Rico is an American territory for all you geology buffs out there. Read a book. I pledge allegiance to Texas every morning. That I do not, but in the public schools, Joe Caprino, you actually do that. It's serious.
It's true.
Does Colleen have to do that?
I don't think so.
I think it's more of an elementary school move.
You don't really say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I'm trying to think when we stopped. I feel like at Buffalo Gap we said the Pledge of Allegiance up through the entirety of my high school.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I remember we would do the anthem or whatever every morning in elementary and then say the Pledge of Allegiance in elementary, but I think that stopped in middle school.
And we had a moment of silence for 60 seconds every
day?
Every day.
For what?
Just pray or whatever, just take a moment. Before school started, every day. They'd have the morning announcements, and I think y'all
were meditating.
Make the morning announcements, then those are all the morning announcements. Please pause for a moment of silence, and there was 60 seconds of silence. And then you got on with your day. We should be starting, probably not the show with a moment of silence, but you know what? It may not be the worst way to start the day. Okay. Keep it moving. So that we did 70, 74. It's sort of sad for Dake because he wants that rematch with Cody so bad. He wants to wrestle Sidikoff, and he's not going to get that opportunity likely this year. But Big Salk, Chimizo on the other side, Bayramov, the likely semifinalist, or the Iranian. But hard to fathom Dake not making the finals again here, and ultimately
Find Silver also sneaking in at the 8 seed.
Okay, Mitchell Lewis. So he would hit Kyle Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
Demirtas is interesting out of the 7 against Salkazanov. Chamizo would have Sabalov, Serbia, former world champion. So that's a pretty fire matchup there. 74 is going to be really fun. Gotta love Dake's chances. And then 79, Jordan Ernest Burroughs. There's a Greek man, a true Greek, as the 3 seed. This is a rarity. What a great thing.
Good for Greece.
Good for Greece. Looks like an Iran final for Jordan, potentially. Although you never know.
Yeah. Look, he's pretty good. I think that's probably what it will be. Him and Jordan had a close match.
He was kind of losing late, as I recall. If I
Yeah,
recall
and then he
correctly.
did Jordan Burroughs things.
Yeah, he does that.
So this is definitely Jordan's way to lose, and kind of the Iranians' final to make, I would say.
Yes. All right. 86. Yazdani and David, opposite sides, which is great. That should be a final once again after
It would be a major upset if anybody beat them on the way, though.
Yeah, it would be probably one of the biggest upsets of the tournament if either of them lost. Amin not likely to knock off David, and then
Yeah, we saw that match. It's all David.
Makoev, Abakarov, those guys I don't think they have the tanks to compete with Yazdani. David would have Deepak Punya in the quarters. I don't think so. I don't think so, sir.
World medalist Deepak Punya.
Yes, I know. Somehow it happened. Then we go to 92, where Jaden is the 3 seed. A rare sighting for that, for Jaden. Normally the man on top at 92. He'll likely face Davlenbayev of Kazakhstan and then hit Nurmagomedov of Azerbaijan. We feel good about Jaden's draws there and a potential rematch against Gasimpur in the finals.
That one will be, I will not feel as great about. That is very nerve-wracking.
That's going to be a crazy close match just because of, Jaden's style. He's not going to blow this guy's doors off. It's going to be a chess match.
It's going to be close the entire match.
For
Either
sure.
way, whoever wins.
For sure. Feel a lot better if Jaden got that early lead. And then anytime you're pursuing Jaden, it's generally good for Jaden. Then we look at 97. We already talked about the potential Mohammedan quarter. He would have to get by Ukraine to do so, but you feel like he's definitely the toughest guy that on Kyle's side of the bracket.
Yeah, for sure.
And then really, that could be his toughest match of the tournament in all likelihood, that semifinal, because Macedonia, Mongolia on the other side for Kyle. Not too concerning there. Any other dark horses in this field? Ibrahimov has had his day, but I think his days are behind him.
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty clear the pecking order at 97.
And then heavyweight, we're getting drawn in there. You've got Gino, Taha, and Zare, the big 3 there. And then there's definitely a drop-off. Munktur, Sedinovic of Germany, Baranovsky of Poland, Dang, and then Desi of Canada via the Ohio RTC. So that rounds out the men's freestyle seeds. Hopefully a productive trip for Team USA to Serbia. You are not going?
I am not going.
Not going to that.
We'll be watch partying it up, though.
That will be a party in the USA. That's a crazy week for Flow Sports because we have
Who's number 1?
Who's number 1. Then for Flow Grappling, we have ADCC that week. And then World Championships are both like on the same days. It's going to be a crazy fun week. You want to get to some questions before we go. Shorter show today, but we're getting this in. I think I know the answer to this question, but I could be wrong. Is Nick Suriano the only wrestler to be ranked top 2 in NCAA for 3 different schools? It's got to be yes, right? 3 different schools?
I would assume so.
I mean, first of all, the list of wrestlers that have been on 3 different schools is short. The list of wrestlers that have been ranked for 3 different schools is shorter. Top 2 for 3 different schools and winning a title for 2 of them.
I'm trying to think of the best guys that have even been on 3 teams.
I can't think of any.
Well, Well, I mean, transferring before Soriano left Penn State was hard enough to do it once.
He got the ball rolling here.
He did.
He's the first guy to go Big Ten to Big Ten, no problem. Not that it wasn't without a fight, but yeah.
Win the fight.
He did. I think, I don't think that's ever happened. Now, here's the question. Will it ever happen again? In the era of athlete mobility, it would seem like...
I would put my money on yes if you say infinitely.
Yes.
With infinite amount of time.
Yes, for all of time.
If you say within a period of... I'll even go 10 years, probably not.
Right. Okay, here's a good question. What is the wrestling equivalent of Usman getting knocked out?
Who was in the NCAA finals that was down by 14 and hit the cement mixer?
Rob Roan, Josh Lambrecht. Rob Roan for Lehigh hit the mixer.
Probably a little more extreme, but basically on par.
Yeah, because the crazy thing about the Roan mixer is how long it took him to pin him. He got it, and I feel like it took at least a minute before he actually put him away. So that, I would say Han Trench for sure. The lateral drop from Damian Hahn was definitely like, you think it's over, then he hits his Hail Mary late in the at the end of the match to get a lateral drop, and then gets the takedown out of the sort of scramble afterwards. So that definitely comes to mind. So for this, you need to find a match that looked over, pretty much completely over, and just had a shocking ending. Honestly, Gable Dan over Gino in the Olympic finals, that was over.
True.
I mean, you're like, at least the way he went about it, just getting 2 takedowns, that was not a scenario.
It literally is not a scenario.
The Gable one was the first one that came to mind. Dylan Ness had his against James Green, but that was not, I don't think, in the third period. So that I think it's Gable for me.
And very rarely, I feel like in wrestling, in big matches, do we see somebody down by a large portion and get a pin when they're losing.
Yes.
Which is what happened here. It's not a scenario where there was a comeback in the third period, where they're losing even a major comeback, by 8 points in the third or something. But then you see the comeback build up.
Yeah.
Like okay, now it's 6-5. He's getting the takedowns. He's breaking, but can he do it? It's over.
It's over. Everyone's writing it off and talking about how over it is, and then boom.
Right.
Rick Wasmer says Snyder versus Gwiz. In a way, I see that, but really, he got that takedown late, and it was the ride out. So I feel like it was not quite as much of a long shot for Kyle as it was for some of these other ones.
Which the Gable one happened very fast, but it still wasn't a split second.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Yeah, that was the thing, just how instantly it was over. I'm trying to think of like some controversial defensive falls, but none have really happened in
And the fact that this was for the title.
Yeah.
Main event.
Everything on the line here. It has to have happened at a major sort of event. Brian Jackson says that Gable, not a good comparison. Both wrestlers had lead throughout. Leon Edwards had the lead after round 1 for sure. But yes, I would acknowledge that as more of a back and forth match, but Leon had his moment earlier in the match as well when he took his back. Gilman versus the Backpack. That was a crazy match, and Gilman did gas him from bottom. That was confirmed by Ethan and Thomas. That happened. But what I'll say about that one is you kind of always knew it's like it's a folk style match. You've got this Hawkeye amazing tank against a guy who has a suspect tank, so you could kind of see, well, maybe it could happen. But that was a crazy one for sure, and he puts him over.
Yeah, Jason Ness pinning Dan Dennis.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
I don't even like thinking about that one. Yeah, that was crazy.
Or not pinning, but getting the takedown,
yeah,
winning.
2-2.
Yep. Pitch over Spencer. That one wasn't like a blow. Like Spencer wasn't dominating really, and it wasn't over, but
Was he winning?
I don't remember the score, but it was incredibly surprising.
Oh, it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. Okay, so there's quite a few, but nothing quite. Who let CP in the chat? Jeff Baxter, you can't keep me out. Nice try. All right, other questions. Set the line for full feed Keeter versus Feldman.
You probably got to make Feldman the favorite
Yeah.
and give him. It's close though. It's probably 1.5 or 2.5 points.
You think?
Yeah, 2.5.
Feldman looks most amazing when he's wrestling like less athletic dudes, right? That's when you're like, oh my, like bigger guys that can't move like him. Keeter, it's like this guy can really move, and he's obviously an amazing athlete.
Very large too.
Yeah, he's not small.
And full feed Keeter too is probably different. Although
Yeah.
I think he is relatively full feed. Like I don't think he
Yeah.
cuts to
No.
get where he's at, but he can bulk up.
Right.
For sure, which he will, I'm sure, for football.
Yeah. Now here's another question: full feed Keeter versus Christian Carroll.
Probably like Carroll 1.5
Yeah.
is the line. Maybe 0.5 point.
Yeah. That's the one you want to see. Don't know if it will because of Ben's football schedule. Unfortunately, he's good at way too many sports. But good for him. What a beast. That was one of the more impressive performances of Junior Worlds for sure.
Yeah, he was another guy down 8-0 in one of his earlier matches. Came back to win.
That was crazy because it's just you're on such a razor wire when you're down 8-0. Like the comebacks, they happen. It's not insanely uncommon, but it's like, man, you just cannot make that first mistake. You need to give yourself that cushion. And then you can come back.
Yeah, that was in the semi, and then obviously Keeter won, and was it Georgia or Turkey? I can't remember that. He came back on, lost their bronze medal match too.
Oh wow!
So
Good thing.
basically the semi slide,
Yeah.
a freestyle, and arguably could have like if he takes Keeter down one more time or fence off that comeback, he could be looking at a gold medal.
Yeah.
He could be looking at a world champ, and now
For
he's
sure.
fifth. Now he's fifth.
That's insane.
He
Sadness. That's why I like wrestlebacks, because you get the sad people and you get, Americans are used to wrestling back and like not, hanging their
not
head.
watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what?
And not watching.
Not watching what? No, I mean
The
American
wrestlebacks.
wrestlers. The wrestlers are definitely watching.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not just a fan move. Okay, last question.
But
Go ahead.
that guy that lost to Keeter, he was very sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you see some explosive emotions afterwards?
And I rode the bus back with him to the hotel.
Oh,
actually too.
Okay. What was that scene?
A lot of tears.
A lot of tears.
A lot of tears.
Yeah, it's tough. Did you see any crazy international wrestling stuff? Anything surprising?
No, pretty much your standard stuff.
Anyone smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No athletes, but coaches.
Yeah.
No.
It's stressful. It's stressful coaching. You need to rip some heaters. Okay. Would you be happy? This is from Julian Schmelinsky. Would you be happy if the World Finals were best 2 out of 3?
No.
Would I be happy? Yes. Should we do it? No.
You gotta go, like everything on the line this one.
Yeah, I know. That's fun. But I just have this problem where like I just want more wrestling.
Well, of course.
I do have that problem. But I understand. I'm able to zoom out and realize that is not the best decision.
Which is,
But it would be kind of awesome.
Yeah, well, but that's why I wish we just got those matches more often. At say,
I know.
a Regan or a ranking series tournament or continental.
Exactly. Yeah, so I would be happy, yet I don't think it'd be the right call.
But then there's also the argument to be made that the fact that we don't see them very often is what makes also what helps make them so great.
Yeah, I don't think that is an advantage, honestly.
Well, it depends on the match. Slightly, in the rivalry.
Sure, I think it's better. I mean, I think you can build more anticipation if they are competing against each other frequently, if you're seeing these characters more and more, and you can build that attachment. But yeah, the rarity of watching Yazdani and Taylor wrestle does have an allure. I understand that. So yeah. All right. Well, we are calling the show at 8:57 here in Texas. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Apologies for the schedule, but it's the summer. Things happen. We scheduled it better now than
They're almost over.
They're almost over. And today is the AC has been out in my home the last couple days.
That's rough.
That has been rough. Last night there was some tossing and turning. A lot of box fans that we somehow, for some reason, have. But it's getting fixed today, allegedly, so that'll be good. So yeah, you stay cool. We'll be back next week. Thank you, JD, for coming. Thank you to Tyler for producing. See you next week, guys. Thank you.